Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I have an update to my Pan Your Book project pan. So this is a project pan I created because I wanted to talk about books and makeup, and I wanted to force myself to read more because I have been slacking on my reading, and I also think that we should highlight readers. We should be as visible as possible because people aren't reading anymore, so we should just be out there screaming at everyone to read more books.
He reads. That's good.
That is, long story short, I invented this project pan to talk about books and to roll in items that fitted the book that I was currently reading. And I have been doing this since January. This is a little late update, so I am a bit behind on editing and filming, but mostly editing. So we're gonna jump right into this. I have been working on, let's see how many items. I have been working on 4 items. One is connected to an old book that I was reading, and the others are connected to the book that I am currently reading. So, what am I reading? Last update I started talking about this big boy. This is the Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. And yeah, I started talking about this book last update. I said that it's okay if I don't finish it. It is a thick ass book, and I have not finished it, as you can see. I have about 200 pages remaining of this novel, but this is a fantasy story I was sucked in by this absolutely stunning book cover. It is about dragons, and it's about this world where people are like fighting draconic creatures. There is the ultimate dragon called the Nameless One, who ruled the world 1,000 years ago, and they were able to defeat him, to bind him, but like this story is leading up to that he will return. He hasn't returned yet. I don't know if he will, but that is the basics of the story. So we have dragons that breathe fire, and we have dragons that are like that don't have wings and are like water dragons. So, and you follow multiple of characters. For example, you follow the sorceress Ede, who's trying to protect the Queen Sabran. Sabran is rumored to be her bloodline was the only thing keeping the Nameless One at bay. Now, I'm not gonna spoil this book too much, but there are also questions about, is this really true or not? And then you follow, for example, the dragon rider Tane at the other end of the world, where people are living in harmony with dragons, and the island where Sabran is queen is an island where people are proclaiming their faith in virtudom, which is like a religion, and they're like dragons are evil beings. If you use magic, you're a heretic, and so on. So the name, the Priory of the Orange Tree, is this like group of sorcerers who can use magic because they eat the fruit from the orange tree. And I was really bad at trying to summarize this book. I'm sorry if everything is very jumbled up, but yeah, I don't know how to summarize it in an easy way. So, this was what I started last month, and I did enroll 3 items that are connected to this book. Let me talk about the items. I enrolled a blush. I enrolled a blush from Focallure, and it is in the shade Pastel Orange, and I enrolled it because it has orange in its name, and this book is called The Priory of the Orange Tree. I wanted to use this blush 20 times, which I have done. I have actually surpassed it. And this is what it's looking like today. So I have a big ass pan in this blush, which is surprising but also not. It's a very, very powdery blush, and I have been using it both on my cheeks, but also, like I am doing today, I have added it here on my eye look. So I was able to hit a big ass pan, and I think this is something that I maybe should pan to completion, maybe next year, we shall see. But I'm very, very happy with the state of this blush. It is pretty, but it pulls very, very yellow on my skin. There you have it. So, that is obviously because the book is called The Priory of the Orange Tree. And then I have been working on an eyeshadow. This is from Island Play. It's a Reggae Ma Eyeshadow. I specifically used the eyeshadow called Queen because obviously we have the Queen Sabran living in this queendom of Innis, and it is believed that she is protecting the entire world from the Nameless One because just of her bloodline. And I wanted to hit pan on the shade Queen. It is a very, very neutral brown shimmer shade. It's not very special at all. And this is what we're looking like today. So, Queen, as you can see, is there. I do not have pan, I have a huge ass dip. I have used this shade 9 times. And yeah, I will probably be able to hit pan on this next month, hopefully, if I remember to use it, but no pan yet, so it is going to remain in the project. There you can see the shade of that shadow. Then finally I am working on a lip liner. This is from Nouba. It's a super old lip liner. It is like ancient. And it is just this red lip color. Now I want to use it because it is very old. It is also like the lid is too big, so now it is squished, as you can see. And I set the goal to use this until this mark. So I obviously have a long bit to go, but it's okay. I am using it today, and I'm topping it with like a neutral lip colors to make it a bit more peachy, which I think works really well. But yeah, it's very annoying that the lid is too big, so when you put it on, it's like, I don't know if you will be able to see. Yeah, you can see there. Kind of flattens the tip, so you have to be super, super careful. Why am I using this one? It's a red color, and in this book there is this sickness. If you are, I think it's if you're bitten, or you can be infected by draconic creatures, by wyvern dragons and so on. And if you're infected, you get the red sickness, which basically like will kill you. You will have, it will start up with like your hands flaring red, and then you evolve, I think, scales or something, and you get really, really crazy in the head, and then you die. So I thought, you know, this red lip liner will be representative of the red sickness. So those are the 3 items that I have about this book. Now I did have another item remaining from a book I read before. I will link the video in the description. But I read a book called Kindness by a Swedish author, John Ajvide Lindqvist, or Vänligheten as it is called in Swedish. And I was working on a shade from my GlossGods palette, What's Your Power, and I was working on the shade Kind. And I wanted to hit pan on this shade. So I had I used some usage on this shade leading up. It is a very, very stunning blue, green, purple multichrome. It looks green to you, but to me it looks blue. But then you also have a purple shift to it. It is absolutely stunning. And yeah, I wanted to hit pan, and I have now used this shade. Did I count how many times? I used it 12 times. And every time has been an absolute pleasure. And this one is looking like that now. Hopefully you can see that I have a pan in that shade. It is very, very reflective, but you can see that shiny little pan there. Love this palette. This is absolutely gorgeous. So fun. It's sad that they have discontinued this one, but yeah, I am so happy to have this in my collection. It is absolutely gorgeous. So we're finally moving on from Kindness, the book Kindness, or the book Vänligheten, and now we are only focusing on the Priory of the Orange Tree. So I am going to roll in some items, but before we do that, I'm going to talk about the things that I have actually read apart from the Priory. I have the luxury to be able to read some at work. I work at a school and have some time in the library. So we have a book club at work, and this month we read Klara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. This one went by really, really fast. I have read Ishiguro before. I've read The Remains of the Day and Never Let Me Go, and this one, you can tell that this one is newer because the language is so much easier to get through. I liked it. It's about AI, and it felt very, very current. He has like his style, writing stories that are very like mellow and slow, but and the protagonist or the narrator has always a limited view of the world, and then like how the story unfolds is that the narrator will learn more about the world around them. So that's basically like, it goes for this one, it goes for Never Let Me Go, and it goes for The Remains of the Day. But yeah, I did enjoy this one quite a lot. If you want to read a Nobel Prize winner, you should definitely look into this one. As I said, it went by really, really fast. I did also read at work this book, Häng City, or like Hang City, Chill City, by Mikael Yvesand. So this is a book where the story takes place in the city or town where I actually live. And he is writing from the perspective of like children going from like between the ages of 12 and 13, their summer break before actually enrolling into what do you call it, middle school. And what's really interesting is how he captures the like zeitgeist of growing up during the 90s, because this takes place I think in 1999 or something, and it's really obvious that he is from Luleå, where I live, because he like how he describes the places, but also how he described growing up during the 90s. What did we actually do? Because we didn't have smartphones, we didn't have a lot of things, so we just like hung around different places. Also the freedom that children had, we could like go anywhere and do whatever, because like it's just a very safe place to grow up. And I really think that he captured that. He captured how we talk to each other up here, like the northern Swedish accent is really, really evident or prevalent in this book as well. I really enjoyed it, even though it's like the story isn't really about anything. It's just about three boys, aged 12, and how they spent their summer break. But you know, if you're a skilled author, you can capture the reader. This was his first book, and I'm really excited to read more to see what he will release later on. I did decide to not finish a book. I talked about this some updates ago, but I'm trying to be better at actually leaving books that I don't enjoy, and you know, accepting that I don't have to finish everything that I start. I didn't used to be this way. I used to be like forcing myself, but you know, we should read because we enjoy reading and not forcing it. So this is the book Sorrowland by Rivers Solomon. It's about like a woman escaping a cult, a religious cult, where like a black Black Power religious cult thing, and how she like lives in the woods and she gives birth to twins and how she raises them, and it just like it had such a good idea, but I felt like it was rushed at places and like things didn't really make sense, and yeah, I just did not enjoy this. I think I read like a third of it before deciding that no, this is not for me, bro. So we're leaving this behind, not finishing it. Let me know if you have finished this book, if you enjoyed it, but yeah, it's just not anything for me. So we are going to talk about the items that I roll in. So what do I think about this book now when I have about 200 pages? It is good, but it's just, there's something about it that it just isn't really grabbing me. Like, I don't know. I love my fantasy, but I'm not the fantasy, like, I don't devour fantasy like some people, like my boyfriend or my friend. I like it to an extent, and I feel like this is fantasy that just is like, it's not really my type of fantasy. I love, for example, Fourth Wing. I devoured Fourth Wing and Iron Flame so quickly, but this is just not, I could have finished it, but since it's not really pulling too much, I haven't like spent an entire night reading, which sometimes can be the case. So yeah, it's good, but it's not the perfect fantasy for me. So we're going to roll in 2 items so that I will have 5 items going on. The first item that I'm going to talk about is the Kaleidos Prophecy Highlighter. This is the Space Age Prophecy. And, well, it's like a prophecy that the Nameless One, he will return. And when you continue reading, you realize that maybe it's not the bloodline, maybe it's other things, but there is a prophecy and it will most likely happen. This is a multi-chrome highlighter and it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't use it enough because it's so stunning, like I want to savor it, but we should not be doing that anymore. We should use the shit that we love. I'm gonna put a 15 use goal on this, just because it is multi-chrome, so like rocking this on a daily basis might be a bit much. Now I am always a bit much when it comes to my makeup, but yeah, I think 15 uses will be sufficient. And then I'm going to roll in yet another eyeshadow, so we'll have 2 eyeshadows. And I just searched on my spreadsheet for things that could fit. And I found the eyeshadow from the Kailav Art Nouveau palette. I found the eyeshadow Water Serpents, which felt so fitting because, as I said, you have like 2 different types of dragons in this story. You have fire-breathing dragons and dragons that are connected to water and that they can't survive without water. And Water Serpents then, perfect. However, when I looked at this, obviously Water Serpent is this one. It's a matte blue shade. I wanted to hit pan, because I always want to extend the pans in my collection. I have so many eyeshadows. This is what it's looking like. I think I'm still gonna roll it in to hit pan. And then it will just stick around in this project for some time. But that's fine. We don't have to roll everything out, like after 1 update. It is fine to keep this in for a bit longer. So I am rolling in Water Serpents with the goal to hit pan. I will also have the goal to use all of the shades in this palette, like a no pan left behind. That is what I usually do when I roll eyeshadows in. Yeah, it might take a while, but that's the name of the game. So So, that is it for this update. I hope that you have some kind of, like, you can take something with you from my very, very bad summary of this book. Let me know if you have read this book or if you have read any of the other books that I have been talking about. And yeah, or if you don't read, just say hi in the comments. I always love to hear from you. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next one as well. Bye guys!